to me, one of the things that I loved about doing the show is that we are here for Harley's Angels. Yes. And there's lots of... who all here is a survivor? That's awesome. Yeah. I'm a survivor too, because, you know, I don't have a gun. Well, I think it's a beautiful way to honor your sister and everybody who has survived and passed. So eventually we're all like this thing. I had a really good friend, a friend of my mother's, one of our family's best friends. I always thought she was my aunt, but then I found out she wasn't.
Does that happen a lot in North Dakota?
Yeah. Everybody looks the same. All those pink people. And she had a long battle with breast cancer, and she survived a long time, had a really, pretty wonderful life, but in the end, she passed away. And her husband was this really interesting guy who looked a lot like Captain Picard, and he wrote all these he was a brain surgeon, and he wrote all these really interesting books, and all these beautiful titles, like the book was called In the Arms of the Moon, and it was about the pituitary gland. I mean, yeah. So he'd give me these books, and he'd say, in these big black glasses and his Captain Picard face, and he'd say, "Celeste, you are one of my students. You need to read this book and write a song about it." And I thought, how in the world am I going to write a song about a pituitary gland? I can't do it, but I was looking through his book, and it really was interesting. It's just about how the tides and everything affects our lives. And he had written these beautiful 4 lines called In the Arms of the Moon. And I was driving around in my blue van back then, my 1968 blue van. And I found out that Carol had finally passed away. And that line just stuck in my head, and I went home that night. It was one of those things, we talk about writing songs. It was one of those songs that just popped out on paper. Actually, I was in the bathtub, so the paper was a little wet. Finished it, but it just came out kind of in one big house. Something's changed